Welcome back to another Bit Heroes video. Today we're going to be talking about all of the loot and the familiars in the Hallowed expedition that's coming up this weekend. So this is the first time that we're seeing it in Tier 10. Now the image that I'm using is going to be on my Discord if you want to see it in a higher resolution or just whenever you need. So scroll down on any of my YouTube pages or on my Twitch page and the link for the Discord is going to be there. If you are new to the Discord, you want to type in !BH in the chat box and send that. That's going to unlock all of the Bit Heroes content and channels for you. If you want to check out the Chaos Bane stuff, you can do the same thing. So !CB will unlock all the Chaos Bane channels for you as well. It's just one way that we keep the Discord kind of organized and not so messy with a bunch of channels in there. But keep your eye out for updates. Now with Bit Heroes, go to the Bit Heroes archive, click on the channel. You'll have all the infographics for the expeditions and invasions in their own little channel there organized for you. Today we're talking about the Hallowed dimension, so it's coming up this weekend. This is another event that's going to use badges and it's going to use your guild, so that your guild team is going to be your familiar team or your raid team. One thing that's important to talk about is the level of the portal or the level of the dungeon that you do only gives more rank points or more guild points. It does not change the experience that you get. It doesn't change the level of the loot that you get or anything like that. This is the cosmetic. If you are able to get all the mythic items, you're going to look like that. The green kind of glows and pulses, looks pretty cool. The first portal is going to be the Gavx portal, so this is going to have the Aberrance bow. The Aberrance bow currently in Tier 10 is actually still on the table as far as DPS weapons. It is not the most popular just because it's not fitting with sets super easily without Starweave, but it still is a good weapon, and if you do have Starweave, then a lot of people are also mixing this in as well. It's very strong because the 1 SP attack hits 3 times, so you can proc your pet 3 times, and then it has a shield teammates ability, so the spread shield is going to give whoever is needing shields the most priority. This is Gavx. He was a very popular DPS / healing familiar. He's slowly starting to kind of fade out of the meta just because his stamina is so high. My main character has 5.5 thousand total stats, which puts Gavx around 1800 stamina or more when you stable him all the way. So it's a lot of wasted stamina. Now that could change in the future. Maybe in Tier 11 they could change the stat distribution or do like a stat crunch or something. But as it is right now, he's still good if you have him, but he's starting to kind of fade out of being optimal just because a lot of wasted stats and stamina. But to get him, you have to get some Gugumens, and you'll get that from Zone 8, Dungeon 1. We'll talk about the Mythic Portal a little bit later. Let's go down somewhat in order. So the third portal is the Sword portal. And here you see the mythic item, so it's going to give you increased damage and damage reduction for each mythic item that you have. Cool cosmetic, but this really isn't popular. It doesn't fit in with any builds, and it's better than using a legendary, but not too excited here. Now with Sword is a good tank. He is not a great tank. A lot of people, if they were unlucky and they weren't able to get Yemek from a previous expedition, they would go and use Sword. And he can definitely get the job done, but let's talk about the good and the bad. So the bad side is that his stamina is so high, that means his attack is super low, so his proc effect is going to be a lower value. Healing for 200 to 300, this is based off my character's 5.5 thousand total stats. Practically nothing. And the other issue is his proc is a heal team, not a spread heal. Heal team gives that small amount to everybody on your team. Spread heal focuses the healing onto one target, and most of the damage that you're going to find in this game is focused damage. So your tank, for example, Sword, is going to take a ton of damage, but he's not going to have the same amount of focus in the healing, so a little bit weak. You can make him work, if you have him already. He didn't get any worse, it's just other tanks got better. His skills are not bad, but again, his attack is so small that his skills actually don't matter themselves because the value is so small. Block tanks, I think they are inferior. I don't think the numbers say that they are inferior to damage reduction tanks, but you can still make block work. If you have 2 legendary block pumps, you could max out his block, and then your third pump could be damage reduction, and then you can have a damage reduction chip, and you can make him work, but I wouldn't aim for him, and then it's a pain in the butt to get all of the epic dungeon familiars that you're going to get from Raid 5 to make them happen. But like I said, he'll work. He's not the best. If you have him, he didn't get any worse, but I wouldn't really aim for him, and I don't think it's worth throwing the gems at getting those raid familiars because it's a pain in the butt. And if you're trying to do that without gems, good luck with that one. Moving on, Winsler. Winsler is the star of the show. He's the only epic that I included in this infographic but I did that because he is amazing. I think he's actually better than most legendary tanks as well, and here's why. One, it's only epic schematic, so yes, this is only available while the expedition is available, but it's only an epic schematic. If you really push, you should be able to get this without too much problem. On my free-to-play account, you'll be able to watch it when the event is live. I've got a bunch of free-to-play plaques and badges and a free-to-play super scroll and all that, so I'm expecting to be able to get this. His stat distribution is good, so he's got less stamina. The downside is that instead of having super high stamina and having low agility, they put a lot of his stats in agility, which is a bit of a waste for a tank. But his stats are fine. He's an epic tank. He's got enough meat there so he can take a hit. His attack power is low, so his attack skills aren't that valuable. But since he has spread heal, you're going to focus all that healing onto one target. So while he's not perfect, he's really good. He's easy to get. You only have to get rare familiars to make him, so you're not going to go back in some dungeon and have to worry about all that. Super easy to get. Also, bacon. You can get bacon, which is the crafting material. You can get that from Inferno, and you can get that from Hallowed, so you're going to get those materials twice as fast. If you take a look at your own materials tab, you probably have enough bacon to at least like +4 this guy if you've been playing for any length of time at all. And then again, just getting those rare familiars is super easy. So check it out. If you don't have an amazing tank already, go for this guy. The only time that I wouldn't go for him is if you have a legendary brain that you like for your tank, then you can go for any other legendary familiar that's not an expedition. But this is the guy, man. Easy enough to get. He's going to be amazing. This is like free-to-play gold. If you can get this guy on a free-to-play account, you're going to be pretty solid. So moving on to the Twinbow Portal. Twinbow is actually the second portal if you look at them in order. And the little picture I have on the side shows all the mounts that you can get in the portal. So this is like a Flurgy with 2 heads. So he's the duo Flurgy mount. This is the Vile Focus. The bonus isn't bad. While you're above a certain % of health, your absorb chance increases. It's not bad. The cosmetic is cool, but not the easiest thing to fit in with a tank build, so that's why it's not so popular. And if you do have like Starweave, there's other mythic items that I would choose above this. As far as all the legendary familiars, I'm not a big fan. Nothing really stands out here. Sproutlings is so bad that I couldn't even get a good picture from anybody to fill it in. So you have the info on his last attack, but we're obviously missing some graphics here. But yeah, so if you have that image and you want to send it to me, I can update this, but not a big deal. Going back to the top, so number 4, actually let's do the any portal first. So in any portal, this literally means that in any of these portals you can get this drop. So Claudius is the raid 6 raid goblin, and he goes into Claudius. Claudius would be a fun PvP familiar just based on his stats. He would attack really fast. He's got some dual strike. His target attack hits twice, and you get a lot of procs out of it. However, if you're going to spend all the effort to get a PvP fam, you want an offensive proc. This is going to be locked in as a defensive proc, and he's a mess. There's no real reason to run him. Unfortunately, he's got some cool skills and stuff like that, but it's not going to happen. So Featherfall and Hellfire. This is the DPS and the tank sets. These drop in any of the expeditions, any of the invasions, and if you're a free-to-play character and you want to kind of get into a set, but you don't think you're going to finish a regular set like the raid set or the trial set before the tier is over, this is actually a really good choice. It lacks the massive 4-piece bonus of the other sets, but if you're only getting 2 pieces or 3 pieces or something like that, this is going to be the way to go. Once you hit tier 10, you passed all the flags. There's really no reason to start upgrading legendary items. You should save all those materials, at least in my opinion, to upgrade set pieces or a mythic piece or something here and there, and then this is going to be a great choice for you. So the bonuses are fine. And the tier, again, is going to be the tier of your mount. Let's just say, what it's looking like on my free-to-play account. I've got 2 pieces of this on my free-to-play account, and I may get 1 more piece before the tier is over, or 2 more pieces, whatever. But if tier 11 comes out and I start getting other pieces, the set still works. So I could have a couple pieces that are tier 10, a couple pieces that are tier 11. It's still going to work all together. The defensive set is not too bad, not too shabby. It's really good to fill in some gaps. Let's say you have a 4-piece tank set and you've got 2 pieces open. You could put in Hellfire pieces just to pick up like a 4% more damage reduction. The skills on the Hellfire, it's an axe, so it's pretty standard for a tank. It's a good tank weapon. The skills on the weapon for Featherfall are actually amazing. So you get a bow, which is Maple Strike. It's got a snipe target skill that hits 3 times. That's great for proccing pets. I believe it's also got a 1 SP attack all skill, so that would be amazing for free to play. Like I said, I've got a free to play push coming up, and I've got like 5 or 6 plaques and a super scroll, so if I can get the clarity, that would be amazing. And last but not least, you have the Mythic Portal. So there's one more mythic item, 5% increased damage, but you take more damage. Not bad. It's a cool cosmetic. There are other mythics that I would prefer to wear, so that's why this one's not too popular. But you have the X5 team, or X5 34M, which is really cool cosmetic. He is the mount, so if you want a giant mecha mount that's going to take up your entire guild hall and troll all your friends, this is the guy to go for. The mount drops separately from the schematic. I don't want to get that confused. But the familiar himself, he's pretty cool. He's got a bunch of skills. He is a DPS familiar because he doesn't have a 1 SP heal. And he does have spread shield, which is pretty good, and you couple that in with his multi-attack skills. But he has 30% damage. That's going to increase not only his damage, but his spread shield proccing effect. He's got ricochet. The way ricochet works is if you're fighting against one enemy, it literally does nothing. But if you have 2 or more enemies, your attack on, for example, enemy 1 can ricochet to the second enemy. So the same exact attack can hit the first enemy and then ricochet to the next one. And then theoretically, you can ricochet infinitely. But the percent is a little bit low, so you don't see that too often. But the skills are good. He's got triple hit. He's got good stat distribution, 50% attack, 25-25 for health and agility. He's a good fam. He's just super expensive to make. You need 2 of each of the epics from here, and then you need 2 dungeon bosses from Raid 4 to make it happen. So that's 600 materials from his portal. So the big problem is the materials. Getting the raid fam's a pain in the butt too, but the materials, 600 materials for each of these. And as I always say with familiars ever since augments came out, if you cannot stable the familiar, don't bother going for it. But if you're a big baller and you want to do it, there you go. Pretty cool skills. As far as mythic familiars, he probably wouldn't be my #1, but I still think he's a cool skill set. And also, there's only like 1 player in the game that I can think of that even has him either stabled or halfway stabled, so it makes you unique there. But really cool mount, looks awesome. Here again is the cosmetic for all of the mythic items if you put them all together. Makes a really cool looking set, but those are the other mounts, and there you go. One last time, the level of the dungeon that you run, the difficulty, does not change your experience. You could run level 1 or 1000, the experience is the same. It does not affect your item find, so you have the same chance for the loot. All of the loot that you get will be the tier of your character. If you don't know what that is, look at your mount. Your mount will show you what tier your character is. So one more time before I wrap it up, this is a guild event, so when you enter into your first portal, you will be locked into your guild for the entire duration of the event. So make sure that you're in a good and active guild before you get this thing started. If you are looking for guild, make sure to apply to the Team Gavx guild. A video for that we posted a little bit later today. But get into a good active guild so you have a good time in here and so you can unlock all the portals and get at all the loot. And there you go. So if you want to find this image for your own use, find it on the Discord, use it freely. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.